Hello, welcome back to the Wrestling Newsroom. I'm your host, Orphan Dresden, and today we're going to be looking at all the wrestling news from Friday. We start with day 2 and 3 of CM Punk vs Chris Amann trial. Nick Huseman of WrestleZone.com was there. He said CM Punk and Colt Cabana did not exchange any words prior to the start of the proceedings. Amann's lawyer then asked Amann how Punk's appearance on Cabana's podcast affected him. He brought up how he was harassed and ridiculed by fans on social media and was humiliated by signs that appeared on Raw, such as, "Can someone check my staph infection?" He then described the 2014 Royal Rumble, which was Punk's last match in WWE. He talked about how Punk came to him at ringside and told him that he was rocked by a clothesline from Kofi. Amann believed that Punk had a concussion and told Punk to eliminate himself on the match, but Punk allegedly said, "Nah, I'm just going to collect myself and get back in the match." Amann then told Mark Yaton to inform people in gorilla position that Punk was concussed and needed to get out of the match. Amann claimed that Michael Hayes gave the order for Punk to eliminate himself, but Punk didn't do it. When Punk didn't eliminate himself, Kane ended up eliminating Punk and giving him a chokeslam through the announce table. Then history with Punk was brought up, and Amann claimed that he only prescribed antibiotics to Punk between 2012 and 2014 for a sinus infection. Various text messages were shown between Amann and Punk, including the one after the Royal Rumble match that said, Punk, "What is this bullshit?" Amann then said, "I thought you had a concussion and needed to get out of the match." He said, "Fuck that." According to Amann's sign, Punk made no reference to having a lump on his back in text messages, and Amann allegedly checked out Punk without a shirt on and did not notice a Christ on his back or buttocks. Photos were shown of Punk at the Rumble with no size or back bulge. Punk and Cabana's team did cross-examine on Amann's various email exchanges were shown between Amann and other members of the medical team from November of 2013 regarding Punk's symptoms, which included fatigue, appetite, mild diarrhea and headaches. Depression issues were also brought up, but Amann noted that they did not have the time or the place to address them. A text was shown from Punk on December the 2nd, 2013, with Punk saying, "My head is killing me. Why do I have these headaches?" Amann responded with a lengthy text about explaining how it would reach a diagnosis. Punk allegedly set up a meeting with Amann to get antibiotics, but Amann denied that he was meeting Punk to give him antibiotics. There was more talk about Amann prescribing antibiotics, including Z-Packs, as part of his job to WWE. Another text exchange was shown at Punk. "I swear to Christ, I'm sick again. You got a Z-Pack?" And he went, "Yes, I've got them on me." According to Amann, he would have evaluated Punk if Punk shown him a skin infection, but Punk allegedly never did. Punk's exchanged medical records were shown, and it showed no medical history record. Amann mentioned that he gave Punk Z-Pack without recording them. Then, according to Amann, he doesn't want compensation for emotional damage. It was noted that Amann didn't visit a doctor due to his issues and didn't seek counselling. In addition to that, it was said that Amann isn't taking medication to deal with emotional damage, and he sleeps an average of 8 nights every night. Then Amann was cross-examined by Colt Cabana's lawyer. When Amann was made aware of Colt's podcast on Thursday morning, he spent most of the day researching tweets about the podcast and had trouble focusing on spending the day with his family. It was noted that Amann apparently only responded in one tweet stating, "Your tweet is very offensive," but didn't respond to others saying their tweets were wrong. Amann acknowledged that the line in the podcast about how they Z-packed me to death wasn't necessarily referring to him. More texts were shown between Punk and Amann, as well as texts between Amann and former WWE announcer Justin Roberts. Then a pre-recorded interview from the 23rd of April 2018 with former WWE timekeeper Mark Yaton was shown, and Yaton gave recollection of the events of the 2014 Royal Rumble. He noticed in memory foggy because I thought I'd put the whole company out of my mind. Houston noted that Punk was said to have laughed in the courtroom at that line. That was day 2. We now have day 3, which fortunately is a lot shorter. Video testimony was shown from Timothy Garrion, WWE audio technician, Larry E. Heck, athletic trainer, referee John Cone, and Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane. All of them gave their accounts of the 2014 Royal Rumble. Cone recalled the exchange between Punk and Amann. Cone, are you okay? Punk, I got a fucking concussion. Cone, stay down. Cone is told, tell Punk to stay down. We're going to send Kane to take him out early. Cone relayed the message to Punk. Punk responded, if you make me leave this fucking match, I'll fucking quit now. Heck, Cone and Jacobs said they weren't aware of any lump or anything unusual on Punk's back. A lot shorter for day 3, but there we are at the minute. It's just a lot of exchanges. Sorry with all the boring technical stuff, but I feel like we need to cover this in depth. Then we go to a bit of an update on Enzo Amore. The music video Phoenix has now surpassed 1 million views on YouTube. According to Enzo, around 4,000 people showed up to Times Square for his public appearance, which is not bad. We then move on to a bad sign for Total Ballers. The second episode saw another drop in viewership to 505,000 viewers from last week's 517,000. The first series averaged around 640 viewers per episode. The second averaged around 587,000 per episode. This looks like it's going to average about 500,000. So the peak is just dropping now. Then we go to a bit of television, WWE television update. The Hollywood Reporter reported WWE 2 television deals will be worth $235 million over the next 5 years. And with NBC's Universal retaining Raw for $265 million a year, and Fox airing on SmackDown Live for $205 million a year. NBCU's current deal with WWE is $130 million a year for both shows. As part of Fox's deal, the reportedly is going to be promotion across the network's sporting program every night of the week and a weekly studio show on Fox Sports 1. I can't wait to see what they do on Fox. I really can't. A bit more news on this. Similarly, SmackDown may be staying live on Fox, which is awesome, to be fair. And then there's a rumour going around that both NXT and 205 Live may be airing on Fox as well. Dave Meltzer addressed the NXT by saying, not a true story. And then Dave Meltzer then again commented after saying they're not shopping NXT, at least for now. There's no plans on NXT or 205 Live being on television. They are still planning on the WWE Network. What's going to happen to 205 Live? Who knows? I mean, right now, I guess the idea most likely is to have 205 Live to move to Friday night at 10 PM. That would make the most sense. But we'll have to see where they go with that one. And then we go to WWE stock, which is at $60.51 per share. Damn. But badly, Raw rating was down to 2.492 million viewers. It did have some heavy competition though this week. It was going up against NBA and NHL finals. So that's a lot of competition. So I'm still surprised I got that good of views. It's pretty decent. Then we move on to our next story. According to SquaredCircleSirens.com, WWE signed 23-year-old Donna Perez to a developmental deal. Perez, a student of Damian Adams and Rip Rogers, has worked in various promotions, including Ring of Honor, Stardom, and Shimmer. There's speculation that Perez could debut in the Mae Young Classic. Great. Let's bring more women in. We need this desperately. Then we go to Scott Steiner being a general dick. Talking about the Hall of Fame, he's saying, it's like anything else, you have to pay me. He said Vince McMahon gets paid for the show, WWE Network gets paid to have him on, to have the show on. If you're going to pay me, sure, pay me. These guys do it for free, but the whole concept is crazy to me. It's amazing, but people do it. You are batshit insane, dude. Then there's 2 matches that may have been leaked for Extreme Rules. The PPG Paints Arena, where Extreme Rules has taken place, is currently advertised the first time ever WWE Extreme Rules comes to Pittsburgh. Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Bob Lashley versus Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. Also including some of your favourites: AJ Styles, Nakamura, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Jeff Hardy, New Day, Charlotte, Carmella, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, Asuka, and many more. Can't believe you dropped the ball there. Hoping it's going to be good. And then there's an update on Eli Drake. According to 2 sources at PW Insider, there's now a new offer on the table to Eli Drake. This weekend his contract expires. There's speculation that if he doesn't re-sign, he'll be going to WWE. We'll have to wait and see how this new deal goes. And then JR commented on which WWE star should be heel. There's a persona makes me think heel first, and so when the average Joe like me or you look at somebody and we think villain, it's hard to get us to change our opinion of that personality. But I think in the long run, there's money in Bobby Roode and Bobby Lashley as both main event level heels. Oh, definitely. Oh, hell to the yes on that one. And then we go to an update on Brock Lesnar. According to Dave Meltzer, the current plan is Brock Lesnar to defend his title next at SummerSlam. And here's news regarding his long-term future. The key is whether he applies to be put back in the USADA testing pool for UFC by the 30th of June. If he does not, then he'll be staying with WWE. If he does, there's a better chance he would be leaving to start back in UFC on the New Year's weekend show. Meltzer added that Lesnar's position to negotiate with WWE and UFC is best it has ever been because the companies are doing so well financially. We're not going to have a championship match until August. It's June. He didn't defend it. He hasn't defended it for ages. Why did you just not give it to somebody else? I'm sick of him holding that title for nothing. It's not doing the title anything good. Then we go what should be the last story. Just checking. Yep. There's a health update on William Regal. It's been reported that he's been dealing with health issues prior to WrestleMania and wasn't at the recent NXT tapings. WWE has been working around his illness by doing WWE segments in reference to him and wrestlers going to his office but Regal not actually being shown on camera. Well, damn Regal. I hope you get better soon, man. Much love to you. Best general manager going. I love William Regal. He's so good. That's all the wrestling news. I do hope you've enjoyed this. I do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have, please give this video a like. Please support me on Patreon. Link in the description below. Subscribe to more content and I'll catch you later. Bye.